Hello everyone, welcome back again to my YouTube channel. My name is Osereme, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how I went about the cutting and sewing of this beautiful shirt I'm putting on right now. Now this is a very simple one following the pattern that I used. So if this is something you're interested in, keep on watching and let's get started. To make this short, you will need about 1 yard or 1.5 yard of fabric depending on your size. What I have here is 1 yard and I'm making use of cotton Ankara fabric. So for this particular tutorial, I am not going to be drafting my own pattern. I'm going to be making use of this pattern from Kim Dave's website. Now she has so many different ready to use patterns on her website, and it is very easy to download and work with. For this tutorial, you guys are going to be seeing how I work with the basic summer short pattern. She has the basic bodice pattern, the basic trouser pattern. She has a full dress pattern. Like, there are several different patterns on there. They usually come from size 6 all the way to size 20, and what that means is that all you have to do is buy one pattern and you get it all the way from size 6 to 20. So in this particular class, you're going to be seeing how I get my own size 6 out of the full pattern for the summer short. So if you're interested in this, I have a link in my bio which gives you a special 25% discount. So you have a discount on this, which I think is actually a lot of discount. So if you would like to get this, the link is down in my bio. All you have to do is make payment and you immediately get an email with the link to download your pattern that you have bought. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you how to join the patterns together and how to go about sewing with this pattern that I got. So this is what my pattern looks like when I printed it out in A4. So on the third page, you're going to see every instruction and everything you need to know about the pattern. Right here, we have the size chart. So this is going to tell you which particular line to cut out when you're cutting out your pattern. The fourth page here gives you instructions on what to do when you download this pattern. And then finally, we are here on the first pattern. These are the patterns themselves. So this is the center front pattern. And when you look at each pattern, you will notice that there's a mark with scissors saying that you should cut through this part. So to place this together is very easy. Just arrange them as they come. So this was the first and second pieces side by side, and this is the upper part of our front pattern. You can see our crotch here and the rest of the body. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut through this area that had a scissor saying I should cut here and here. All right, so you should do the exact same thing. So when you align it, you'll notice how the numbers now align perfectly. So at the bottom here, I've turned it over. As you can see, it also has a scissor line. So I'm going to go ahead and cut through here as well. And then this is what we have for the upper part of the center front. So now I've picked the next two patterns, which is this one here. I'm going to place this here. You can see how the crouch line now is completed, and then this other one will complete this other side. All right, you can always refer back to page 3, which is the page that has these patterns here. It will guide you on how to join the pieces together. So after I was done taping my pieces together, this is what I have. So this is the center front, and you can see the different sizes for the dart. All right, so this is it. The pocket is the same for all of the patterns, so it doesn't matter. We just have one pocket here. All right, and then this is the back piece. All right, can you see we have the crotch line, we have everything in place, the arrows are well aligned. All of these should guide you. So now on this part is where you have the sizes. All right, so this is size 6, size 8, size 10, and it goes on like that. All right, so this is where you have your sizes. So me, because I'm size 6, I'm going to be cutting through the very first line. But first I'm going to cut out the whole shot with all the sizes first, and then I'll show you guys again how I'm cutting out just my size out of this pattern. You've been shattered, you've been broken down. So now as you can see, this is a full back pattern. Of course, this is not my size, okay? So my size is right here, the first line, which is size 6. The second line is 8, okay? The third is 10. It goes on like that, all right? So please take note of that. So now I'm going to cut through the first one, which is size 6. So if you are not size 6, let's say for example you're size 8, you should cut through the second line. If you're size 10, you should cut through the third line. If you are size 20, this whole thing, you don't need to cut out anything because the whole pattern is size 20. I hope you understand. So now this is my back pattern cut out. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pocket and then cut out my size of the front pattern as well. So now this is my front pattern cut out. As you can see, it actually came with a fly zipper. The front pattern is written center front. All right. So this is the front pattern, and here is the back pattern that we cut out together. And then the pattern is actually the same for all the sizes for the pocket, so you don't have to bother with what line to cut out when it comes to the pocket. So this is all for the cutting out of these patterns. Once you've done this, you can save these patterns for as long as you want and you have them there. All right, so now I'm going to transfer my patterns to my fabric. I have my fabric folded into two. All right, so I'm going to be starting with the front pattern. So first I'm going to fold this area here, which is going to serve as the hem of my short. The pattern instruction says that allowances have not been added to this pattern. So we're going to be adding our allowance here. So I folded this up as the hem of my short. Okay. So now I'm going to place the short like this, very close to the fold I just made. And I'm going to go ahead and pin this down. So now we have to also add allowances to the other side as well, since it says there is no allowance added on the pattern instruction. Okay. So I'm going to be adding about half an inch of stitching allowance around the crotch area, just like you see me doing like this. So just go ahead and do exactly the same thing. So on the waist area, I'm going to be adding half an inch stitching allowance as well. The only area I'm going to be adding 1 inch of stitching allowance is on this side, so that we have enough allowances for ease and all of that later. So this is the front pattern. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the back and pocket. So after we're still cutting out the back and pockets, this is what I had. The allowances is exactly the same on the back pattern as I did in front, half an inch all the way around, except the side where I gave it 1 inch. And then around the pocket, I just gave half an inch of stitching allowance. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove my pins from my back pattern, and I'm going to go ahead and stitch down the crotch area. Remember to cut all your pieces in a fold so that you have two pieces of each, okay? So I'm going to be stitching out this crotch area here with exactly the ½ inch stitching allowance we gave when we were cutting out our pattern. Now the stitching for the front piece is going to be a little different. So I'm going to remove the pattern and I'm going to be stitching from here to somewhere around here. So this area here with the zipper fly is not going to be stitched down. So from the top of this short here, I came down by I measured down about 9 inches. You can already see that this one is quite high because it is high waisted. It's a high waisted short, all right? So I'm going to mark 9 inches here, okay? So this is where I will start my stitch from all the way through to this other part that I'm marking. So the upper part is not going to be stitched down because we are going to be placing a zipper there. So I'll just stitch this area down and then stitch all the way around the crotch here at the back. I'm done stitching this down now, and this is what it looks like. So I've stitched it down here. So this is for the back pattern, all right? So now for the front piece, this is what I have. I've stitched it down here, all right? And this is what it is looking like. So we are going to have an opening at the top. So this is going to be a fly zipper, all right? So it's a zipper that is kind of hidden. So you don't see that there's a zipper there. That's what a fly zipper is about, okay? So this is how it is arranged. So on the bottom part here of the area that I stitched down, I'm marking 1 inch from the center. Now, this 1 inch point is where I'm going to be placing my first zipper. All right. So just please pay attention to what I'm doing. I notice that this fabric is quite colorful and it's hard to see what I'm doing here. My next video might be about all about fly zipper so that you guys will see it. I'll use a different fabric that will be easier for you guys to really see. Okay. But for this, I'm going to just continue with this. So now I'm going to be placing my zipper on this line that I've just made. Okay, I'm just going to place it here. Normally the allowance for fly zipper is usually 2 inches. So marking 1 inch here, placing this zipper on 1 inch means that we're placing it inside. That's half of it. Okay, so we're placing it half of it. This is where the line is supposed to be. So we're placing it halfway through. Okay, so I'm going ahead to pin this down just like you see me doing like this. You can remove the other side so that you can pin it down straight. Like I said before, I am going to be making another video to just explain this better with a fabric that you can easily see. Okay, so now this is it for this side. I'm going to turn everything to the other side now. And what I'm going to do is on the other part of the fly zipper as well, I'm going to be placing my zipper in the middle. All right. So place your zipper in the middle of both parts. Okay. Don't place your zipper on the edge of anyone. That way your zipper will be showing. So place it in the middle of both of the fly zippers that you have on both sides. So you do one from the front and do the other one from the back. So I'm going ahead to pin this one down as well. I'm using a long zipper here because that's the only one I currently have available. But normally you should use a skirt or a short zipper here, all right? But the same method applies whichever type of zipper you're using. So now I'm done pinning down the zipper on the middle of both zipper fly, all right? So now I'm just going to go ahead and zip it up from the bottom just so to check if I've done everything right, and then cut off the excess zipper that I will have. It feels like an angel straight from heaven. So now I'm done zipping it up and I've not made any stitch here, and I can already tell that my zipper is well covered in front, and this is what is looking like at the wrong side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and make stitches on the areas that I have pinned down on the sewing machine. So now I'm done stitching down the areas that I pinned down and I've cut off the excess zipper. Now turning this over to the right side, can you see what it's looking like? Our zipper is well hidden inside, and this is how yours should look. So now to finish this up, I'm going to go ahead and create the curve that we usually have on our fly zipper to secure the flap in place. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and mark maybe 1.5 inch from the excess that I have here, 1.5 inch from one side of the zipper, which is the one that is covering it. So I'm going to go all the way down to where the zipper stopped here. So it's just a freehand curve that I made here. All right. So I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and make a stitch on this point that I marked. Guys, I'm done making the top stitch now, and you guys, it is almost invisible with this color of fabric that I'm using, but my fly zipper is ready. Also, while I was there, I went ahead to stitch down my darts for both the front and the back pieces. Like I said earlier, I am definitely going to make a different video to show you guys properly how to go about a fly zipper with a fabric that will actually show the threads. Okay, so that is definitely going to be our next video on this channel. All right, so now the next thing I want to go ahead and do is to fix my pocket. Now while I was doing this, I realized that I was supposed to have cut out 4 pieces for the pocket. All right, not just 2 pieces. 2 pieces is going to give you just one side. All right, so for the other side you will need to cut out another 2 pieces. So I'm just going to be doing one pocket here, so let's go ahead and place it. So arrange your front and back pieces right sides facing each other like I've done here. So from the waist I measure down about 1.5 inch. You can mark 1 inch. All right. So once you're through with this, you're going to make a notch. So this is where the pocket should start from. All right. So I'm going to mark it here and then pick up one of the pockets. So you place it right sides facing each other from that point you just mark on the side of either the front or the back piece. Okay. And then go ahead and pin it down. So you place the other one on the other side, right sides facing each other, and pin it down as well. So for this one, I'm done. This is on one side. All right. On the other side, I'm going to start from where I made my notch and just go ahead and pin it down. Guys, trust me, this is the easiest type of pocket I've ever had to put on a short. It's very easy, and all you have to do, and it's very straightforward. Once you've done this stitch that I'm pinning down now, you are good to go. So I'll make a stitch on the areas that I've pinned down on both of them, just like I've done it here. All right, before we come over to join the sides. So now I'm done stitching down the pockets and I've ironed it out. All right, so this is what it looks like. If you want to have a second pocket, just go ahead and cut out another piece just like I've done here too, and then stitch it down as well on the side. All right, so now I'm going to pin down the sides of this short. I'll start from the waist here. Okay, and then I'm going to also align the bottom part here and pin it down. Next, I'm going to go ahead and mark the waist area. So you use your waist measurement here. But if you've drafted out, cut out your exact body measurement, all you have to do is use the allowance that you've added on the waist area. So I just went ahead to mark the waist area, and then I'm marking from there all the way through the pocket. So we're not going to be stitching the opening for the pocket. All right. So you stitch the waist and then go through the pocket hole and then continue with the rest of the short. That's the exact same thing you would do on the other side as well. So this opening here is not going to be sewn. So we're going to sew like this, go through this area, come back and sew down. But the middle here is going to be left open. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down. But on this other side, since I'm not placing the pockets, I'm just going to do a straight stitch. Now I'm done making my side stitches and the part that had the pocket is right here. Can you see how easy it is? This was the easiest pocket to actually stitch down. So now after I was through with this, the next thing I want to do is to finish up the crotch area of the short. So turn everything over to the wrong side, just like you see me doing like this, and then align your crouch area. So first start by aligning the crouch stitch. Okay, align this cross stitch right sides facing each other like this. You can open up the seams before you pin this down. All right, I want my seams to be open, so I'll do the same thing on both sides, and then I'm going to go ahead and pin it down here. I'll start from this area where we had our joining on both the front and back pieces, and after which I'm just going to pin the rest of the crotch area here.
Lucky number 7, you're my shooting star. We're running round in circles.
So now I'll take this over to the sewing machine and make a straight stitch here. After this, I'm going to go ahead and fold the hem of the short here and here, and then lastly we'll add our band to the waist area. I'm done stitching this area down here, as you can see. So this is what it looks like, and then I went ahead to fold the hem of the short. So the only thing that is left now is for us to fix our band around the waist. These tutorial patterns also comes with bands. You can either cut that out or you cut out your own piece. What I did here was I cut out a piece of fabric 2 inches wide and folded it into 2 because the width of the band that came with the pattern was a bit too wide and I didn't want this to be so high above my waist. But if you're comfortable with that, you can just go ahead and use that pattern. Or you can cut out 2 inches of fabric, that's the width of the fabric, and then fold it into 2 with your iron, which is what I've done here, and then go ahead and pin this all the way around your waist. Now whether you're using the pattern you cut out from the patterns itself or you just cut out a simple band like this, everything is the same thing. All right, so the sewing method is still the same. So from the inside I place my band just like you see here. So I'm going ahead to pin it all the way around the waist area first.
Love feels so invincible. Feel you when there's no one around. Your beauty's so amazing. I will always hold you.
So once you're done pinning it around, you're just going to go ahead and cut off the excess. You always make sure that you have about 1/2 inch excess on both sides when you place your band. So now once you're through with that, you're going to come over to the sewing machine and you're going to make a straight stitch following the pinning that you did before. Then after which we'll finish up the band. But first I'm going to make a straight stitch on all the areas that I've pinned down first.
Your heart will be kept safe and sound. But I don't wanna love you when I'm faded. You're the picture perfect, you're my mind painted.
Alright guys, after making that first stitch around, I'm just going to fold the edge, the excess that I left earlier, and then fold it again at the top and then fold it again like this, just like finishing up the band. So now I'm going to be making a top stitch to secure this in place. Alright, it's actually very simple. Fold it in as you sew and make sure that the first stitch you made goes inside. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this all the way to the other side of the band as well. So now I'm going to go ahead and stitch this all the way to the end. Now when you're getting close to the end of your stitch, the excess that you left before on the other end, just go ahead and fold it in. So I'll fold in the excess that I have here on this part and then fold it in again here and then finish it up like this. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just continue with my stitch. I'm done folding the waistband now, and this is what I have. All right, so you can see it here. You can go ahead and make a top stitch all the way across the top if you like, but I decided to just leave mine as it is, and this is the final look of my short. So yeah, it's actually very simple following the pattern. If you have any issues with joining the patterns together, you can always refer back to these videos. Even though it's for other patterns that you buy, it's the same method of joining the patterns together. So yeah, that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one.